Hello, I'm Kochina Rude.
And I'm Mama Celeste.
And welcome to Anal About My Health.
So now we're with our good friend Kristen Marshall from the Dope Project. Hi, Kristen.
Hi.
Kristen, tell us about what you do.
I manage a project called the Drug Overdose Prevention and Education Project. It is a program of the National Harm Reduction Coalition, and we oversee all overdose prevention initiatives and naloxone distribution for the city of San Francisco.
Kristen, can you tell us a little bit about the framework of drug use in the United States?
We are using drugs here in America, it is true. Not unlike most places, people use drugs live everywhere, including in the United States. Here, unfortunately, most drug use is deeply criminalized and stigmatized, so that presents a lot of challenges and puts people in a lot of danger. So my program is there to provide people the resources they need to use safely and to be informed about what they're using in the face of all of that very terrible policy.
How, in a criminalized setting for people who use drugs like the United States, how do we get resources to our communities?
So the Dope Project distributes naloxone directly into the hands of people who use drugs. They're the ones most likely to witness an overdose because they're there. And so that is actually one of the key strategies to decrease the amount of fatal overdoses that are happening in a community is by providing people who use drugs directly with the resources they need to keep each other and themselves safe.
Thanks, Kristen. So I'm looking at our friend here. He looks a little purple.
Yes.
Should we do something about that?
Probably. So what our friend here is probably experiencing is an opioid overdose. And all an overdose is a drug overwhelming the system. And in the case of opioids, what happens when an opioid overwhelms the system is people's breathing slows down to the point where they're not getting enough oxygen or they completely stop breathing. Right? And so how we know that is if someone's skin color will change very rapidly and they will become unresponsive. So lighter skin folks are going to turn a blue-gray, darker skin folks are going to turn an ashy gray, sort of all the color drops out of them. So the first step in responding to an opioid overdose is to try to get this person to wake up, right? So I'm going to verbally say, hey, can you hear me, friend? Can you hear me? Please wake up. Not waking up, right? Now I'm going to move to stimulation, right? We want to give this person a little bit of pain. Pain in this case just reminds the body that it's still alive. The nicest way to give someone pain is we're going to do a very hard sternum rub. And so we take our knuckles and we rack as hard as we can on the breastplate like this, like a chest noogie. If they can respond to that and we can keep them responsive, great. If they cannot stay responsive and they stop breathing again, now we're going to administer naloxone or NARCAN, and that is this medication right here. This is a nasal form of NARCAN, and then right here we have the injectable. Either one will work. They work just fine. So for the injectable, what we'd want to do, as you can see here, it's in a little vial form. I'm going to take this syringe out. I'm going to pop this orange cap off, right? And all I'm going to do is draw up directly out of this vial, and then I'm going to inject into the muscle. It takes Narcan about 2 to 3 minutes to work, and so we want to give the medication time to work. The side effect of Narcan is the person will wake up and start breathing again, and they will be experiencing the symptoms of withdrawal or dope sick, right? And so they're going to be miserable. So we want to give Narcan time to work because the more Narcan you give someone, the sicker they're going to be when they wake up, and we want to make sure that they're not as sick as they have or could be, you know? So we're going to take that, direct it into the muscle, and then we're going to provide rescue breathing to this person. Rescue breathing ensures that the person is still receiving oxygen while the Narcan is working, right? And so all we do for rescue breathing, it's just the mouth-to-mouth part of CPR, so we're going to get a little bit intimate with our friend here. We're going to tip this person's head back, pinch their nose, open their mouth, put our mouth over theirs, form a seal, and give them one breath every 5 seconds until they start to respond. If 2 minutes goes by and there's still no response or they don't start breathing on their own, we're going to administer another dose of Narcan, and we're going to do that every 2 minutes until they start to respond as well. If you're using the nasal kit, it's very simple. It's even easier than the injectable. It's just like a little device like this. We peel that foil back, take it out, put it all the way up one nostril, and one click right up the nose. And again, same thing, once every 2 minutes until they start to respond while we're also breathing for them. As people start to wake up, they're going to be very disoriented. They're not going to feel good. They're not going to know what just happened. So we want to be very nice to them and hold them as they wake up and explain to them what just happened and make sure that they feel safe and comfortable for about 90 minutes. That's how long the Narcan stays engaged with the system. And then afterwards, they'll feel better and they're alive.
Wow, Opie's looking better already. What are next steps, Kristen?
Well, we want to make Opie feel as comfortable as possible. Remember that he's experiencing the symptoms of withdrawal, so he's probably feeling pretty bad. And then we also want to positively reinforce the fact that he chose to use in the company of friends, right? So someone was there to bear witness and to respond appropriately. And so we're so glad you're still with us. Welcome back to consciousness, my friend. And then we want to make him feel as comfortable as possible. And if we see some kind of symptoms of maybe going back into an overdose, at that point we'll get the NARCAN ready again and also maybe call 911 or emergency services.
Thanks, Kristen. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah.
And we'll put some more resources, our quick and dirty NARCAN training, down in the link below.